Hey, how's it going? I hope your week is off to a great start. We are back on our regularly scheduled programming, so another episode of Time Machine Tuesday starts right now. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff, and this is Brickscale Studio. And today we are tackling another episode of Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. So for the Partwork Build, we are going to be tackling issues. Let me check my notes here really quick. Issues 33 through 36. And for the Lego version, we're going to be doing steps 113 through 126. So for the part work, we're going to continue and finish the battery box, and then we're going to move on to, I believe, some wheel wells and a couple of other parts. We don't get into any more electrics in this episode, but that is coming up down the road, so stay tuned for that. Before we get into the build, I would just like to remind you again to like, subscribe, comment on these videos. It really helps to get them noticed. And so with that, without further ado, let's get into the build. Welcome back to the DeLorean build. I have been mostly a Lego person my entire adult life. I'm not really a scale modeler. Definitely nothing on this level. But I have to say, I am really enjoying this build. I understand that there are some frustrating stages coming up, but so far so good. So this is where we left off in the last video. We put in the battery box last time and we ran this little wire. We also attached the engine to the frame in our last series of videos. So in this episode, we are going to be continuing some work on the battery box. We're going to be adding some additional parts to the frame, including some wheel wells, which is exciting. So let's get right into this with our next issue, which is issue 33. I'm just going to set this aside here really quick. I'm just going to move it up here so we can take a look at the magazine. So this is issue 33, and we are going to be doing some more work, it looks like, on the battery box, including the cover and a bottom plate. So this should be a pretty quick issue. So here's our instructions. And yeah, this should be a pretty quick issue for us. And pretty small magazine. We just have some information here. Looks like some other information about Robert Zemeckis, some other things he was doing in the 80s. Some more location stuff, and then our parts for the next issue. So let's get into pack 33. So here are the parts. Like I said, pretty simple. We just have two parts and some screws. So let's get into this. Say that if you hear sort of a hum or a buzz in the background, I'm going to try to minimize it during the editing of the video, but it is the air conditioner running. I am in Texas, and we are in full summer blast. It is over 100 degrees every day this week, so the air conditioner is getting a full workout. We have the fuel tank bottom plate and the battery box cover, and then we have some LM screws and some BM screws. So these parts are plastic, so I'm going to set those aside for now, and then we'll need to bring over our car frame, and we're going to turn it upside down. So I'm going to use this little pad here to kind of rest this on. Okay, so here we go. So remember, this is the part we put in last time. So this is simply going to fit just like so. And it's going to go over the switch, so it's pretty easy to line up here. And then we are going to secure that in with the BM screws. And then here we go. All right, and I'm just going to go around and just make sure that I do have everything tight. Perfect. And then I believe, oh, so then now up here we're going to use the LM screws. That is okay, and that is all there is to do with that. And then this, just like most other battery covers, and there we go. That is it for issue 33. So here we are, issue 34. And we are going to be attaching the chassis front upper and a reservoir. So again, looks like pretty straightforward. So here are instructions, the magazine, and then a preview. Looks like next one we have some wheel arches, so that'll be cool. So let's get into issue 34. Okay, this is a big one. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to attach this reservoir to the chassis front upper, and it is going to, there are two posts, and then there's a lug and a screw hole. I believe this is going to go just like so. So the longer post is going to match up with this lug here, and then the shorter post is going to go into, so it is going to fit on just like that, and we are going to secure that with an FP, from the other side with an FP screw. And now we are going to attach this to the frame. So let me turn this back over. And remember, because remember the DeLorean, the engine's in the back, so this is the front of the car. All right, so this is going to go just like this. And it is going to, these two holes are going to match with these two posts. And then these two are going to hit on these right here. Just like that. And we're securing these four back ends with the DM screws, and then these two front with the FP screws. So there's one. I'm going to tighten those down. Perfect, and then we'll get the other two in. Yeah, we're going metal part going into metal, another metal part, and so yeah, you want to make sure those screws are good and tight. So then our last two, we're just going to attach this with the FP screws, and again, because it's plastic, no need for oil. Sure those are good and tight. Perfect. So I'll double check these down here again. Yep. Yep. Perfect. That is it for issue 34. Now we're into issue 35. And it looks like we are doing the front left wheel arch and the front right wheel arch. So here are instructions. Again, another short magazine here. And then our preview for the next issue, the pontoons. And I can already tell you that these are metal because this is pretty heavy. So we want our left wheel arch going right there, and our right wheel arch is going to be going right here. Perfect. And those are going to go in with DM screws. All right, so I'm not going to tighten that all the way. I'm going to get the other side in, lined up and started, and then I'll tighten them both. So again, we're metal and metal, so we can go tight on these. There, perfect. So now we'll just do the other side. Again, start that one to kind of hold it in place. All right, just double check this other side. Yep, we are good. Oh, there we go. All right, and that is all we have for issue 35. Okay, so this is issue 36. And looks like we are doing left rear and right rear pontoon, and we have a left rear pontoon bracket and a right rear pontoon bracket. So again, here we are, our instructions, and it looks like that's all we're doing. Yeah, we're just attaching the brackets to the pontoons, and that's it. We're not attaching anything to the frame. So let's get into issue 36. So we do not, oh yes we do, they're hidden in here. I was going to say we do not get any screws, but they were just hidden in one of the pontoons. All right, so again, these are stamped. This has an R in it, and this has an L, and they are slightly different shaped, as you can see. The right one has this little notch here, and the left one is just rectangular. And these are all plastic parts. And again, the brackets are also stamped with an L and an R. So this one is the right one, and the brackets look to be the same. So since these are plastic, we are using AP screws. We're starting with the left. So there is a locating lug here that's going to line up with this hole, and then the screw hole is here that's going to line up with that hole. And that's going to set just like that, and we're doing this with AP screws. Again, we're into plastic, so no need to over tighten. So that is one piece. And now we're going to do the exact same thing. All right, and that is tight in there. So those are our two pontoons, and that's it. Like I said, we're not attaching them or anything. So that is it for issue 36, and that is it for the DeLorean portion, or the part work portion of this episode. So let me get all this cleared away, get my extra screws put away, and we will move into the Lego DeLorean. Okay, so here we are in the Lego portion. This is where we were from last time. If you remember, we finalized attaching these pieces for the hover to drive mechanism here. And I just knocked off a part from right there. Let's get that back on. So now we're going to continue with steps 113 through 126. And right out the gate, we have a little note in the manual, a little behind the scenes note that says, carbon dioxide extinguishers were hidden inside the car to simulate the exhaust system output. So let's get into this. Again, we're doing steps 113 through 126. Okay, and that is it for this episode. We did steps 113 through 126, concentrating mostly here on the front end. We've sort of built this area up around here and then secured the bottom here. All right, so that is it for the Lego portion. So let's check out what we have done so far, or compare our two models here. All right, so that is how we compare. Again, we know that the Partwork version is going to be much larger than the Lego version. The Lego version fits entirely inside, but that is where we are at the end of this episode. Okay, so that was all the building for this episode. For the Partwork version, the issues this week were pretty simple. We just had a couple of things to do for each one, so they went very quickly. In the coming weeks, that is not going to be the case because we're going to be getting into some wiring, but that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. So let's just summarize real quick what we've done in this episode. For the Partwork version, we completed 15 steps and used 10 parts. Again, very short issues this week. For the Lego version, we completed 33 steps and used 70 parts. So again, we can see that in steps, the Lego and the Fanhome are pretty close. 282 to date for the Partwork version and 270 to date for the Lego. But again, with parts, we're using way more Lego parts than we are for the Partwork scale model version. That is going to change up a little bit. Our steps are going to diverge coming up in the next few weeks. But anyway, stay tuned for that. I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but if you enjoyed this video, or if you didn't enjoy this video, comment down below. If the DeLorean is not your thing, let me know what other models might be more of your interest. But until we see each other again Thursday for another Lego review, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.